Hey everyone, this is Ian Miller,
What's going on, guys? It's Andrew.
and welcome back to another exciting episode of Media Talk with Miller and Smith. Tonight we have a slew of topics to get through. A lot of movie news has happened in the last couple of days. Some big, some are rumors, but let's just see if these rumors might pan out in the future. But we're still going to report them anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But first, we actually want to share with you our review of Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. We saw this a couple weeks ago in IMAX, and I have to say it was a pretty spectacular film. What do you think?
No, I agree. Felt a little long
Yeah,
on my part. I don't know about you, but did feel a little long on my end. But I thought the story was actually pretty well planned out and pretty good. So I enjoyed it a lot.
yeah, I agree. The editing needed to be tighter because there were some things I could have taken out.
Hmm.
The director should have taken out, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very action packed, great story. She did a phenomenal job. It's not easy, trying to outdo Charlize Theron because, come on, Charlize Theron.
Yeah, I mean um, as she started getting older, I kind of saw that Charlize Theron part.
Yeah,
As she started getting older, and then when we saw, Mad Max with the Tom Hardy movie, um, I started, um, seeing a little bit of Charlize Theron in Anna, Anna Taylor Joy. So I
yeah,
thought she played it really well.
yeah. The best way to probably view this film is watch Furiosa first, and then watch Mad Max Fury Road, because then you get the whole story arc.
Kind of curious though why they didn't do that first and then go to the Tom Hardy one.
Well, personally, I think thought they should have re-released Mad Max, just to make sure that people understood, the story. I think
Yeah.
people got lost in it, you
Hmm.
know. But I think the problem was, Mad Max is a big franchise. It's a big character, and Furious obviously steals the show in Fury Road. But
Hmm.
this was very much a Mad Max story.
Hmm.
But it turns out it's not his story; it's her story.
Hmm.
So I think if they just said Furiosa, I think it would have been fine. Maybe not have had the Mad Max Saga.
Hmm.
I think it would have been fine. Unfortunately, the film is not doing well in the box office. It's not going to streaming, if you can believe it, even after a month, which is part of the problem. I think the studios are not allowing certain films, to get, you know, make the money back in the box office. So they're just by quickly, releasing it on streaming.
Hmm.
This is part of the problem. We have to make sure that people actually get back in the movie theaters, and releasing the film and streaming maybe after a month or even 2 weeks after the film is released in theaters is a mistake.
Well, yeah, I've told you this numerous times. I told you this numerous times that um, I feel like now, the streaming is more in effect that, you know, people don't, if they just, wait for the streaming to come out, they don't have to really pay for it, instead of they just going to the theater and paying for, I don't know, whatever theater they go to, 20, $25, whatever, $15, however the movie costs. And then they just go and they think it's a really bad movie, then they'll just say, "Oh, I wasted my money on this," and that's why I think it's more people are more involved in the streaming now than going to the movies.
Yeah, but what you're finding out is that films that don't do well in the box office are number one hits on streaming services like Netflix or even Max. So again, this is a problem. Y- Yeah, I mean the studio heads, they have to be looking at the statistics of releasing these films and streaming services and saying, okay, we're seeing the numbers here. We have to stop doing this
Hmm.
because we're not going to get our money back.
Yeah, I mean, Furiosa, excuse me, was at, I think the last time I checked was about like 160 million, so it was a little under their budget. I
Yeah.
think it was 168 million, 170 million, something like that. But look, I totally agree. Going to the movie theaters is like, it's like a pastime. You're excited going to the theater. I mean, for me, I always like having popcorn in the theater, but um, but my point is like I understand like people want to stay with streaming, not go to the theater. What I was saying before, but you kind of just want to get that good feeling of going to the theater, the movie theater, and just enjoying it on like IMAX and like the big screen and the sound and everything. It's just I don't know. I mean,
No, it's also like, experiencing with an audience. It's like going to a baseball game.
hmm
If, you got the crowds, you got the noise, you hear the sound of the bat hitting the ball.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't really get that experience when you're watching it at home. You have to live it.
yeah. I mean, when we saw um when we saw Bad Boys
Yeah,
last week, um, there were some parts in there where um you had the audience applaud
yeah,
for some of the parts in there, which was actually, very exciting, and you want that feeling, you want, all the good parts and the audience cheering and everything, that's what you want while sitting at home, streaming, you're just applauding, by yourself.
yeah.
Or
And that doesn't happen for us in the movie theaters, I think, since Endgame, if I'm being honest.
yeah. I mean, there were a couple movies here and there that they applauded. I mean, there was Creed 2,
Yeah,
um, and then there was Bad Boys, a couple movies here and there um that they applauded for, but not. I hear what you're saying, not a lot.
yeah. There was even moments when we saw the Flash where they applauded, especially with Keaton coming back in the bat suit. You're like, okay, that's a big applause.
Yeah,
And even when he says, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts," there was a little applause. Not much, but a little.
not much. Yeah, um,
Yeah,
but I get it. I mean, you know, we gotta promote like more people going to the theater, and just all these great movies, or that we think is great. They have to make more money in the box office. I mean, I get it.
yeah,
They, it's got to be more marketing, more promotions to go to the theater. But
yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why the last Indiana Jones didn't do as well in the box office, even though it was a box office hit. You know, it it didn't. It just may have barely passed its budget.
yeah,
But I think the reason was that was obviously the negativity, so people just didn't want to go to the theaters.
which surprised me at first because it was Harrison Ford's last Indiana Jones movie, so I would have thought that a lot of people like the theater would have been sold out because it's his last Indiana Jones movie and it's Harrison Ford and it's just
Eh,
it was his last movie, but obviously that didn't really happen. So
well, I still enjoyed the movie.
oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our take on Furiosa. If you get a chance, please don't see it on streaming. Go and see it in the theaters.
Yes, you'll enjoy it. We promise.
Yeah,
Um, it will, like I said, it will feel a little long, but it is worth it. So just please go see the movie.
yeah.
Make it more in the box office.
And take my advice. The minute you see that, when you get home, immediately watch Mad Max Fury Road. It'll make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, and one more point on that before we move on. Tom Hardy did say, I don't know if it was today or a couple days ago.
That was today.
It was today. Tom Hardy did come out and say today that he does not think Mad Max Wasteland is happening because of the box office numbers and everything.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if the studio decides to do another one.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a shame because I would like to have seen what would have happened to Max at this point. But
Yeah,
again, that's I'm not in charge of that. We're not in charge of that.
no,
We'd like to be, but we're not.
no, we definitely like to be, but hey, if any of you studio directors out there, listen to us. We have some
Yeah,
pretty good ideas.
yeah. Apparently, they might have started listening to us, or at least one of us, because Marvel Studios. There's a rumor going on that Marvel and Sony Pictures are looking to make a Spider-Man movie with Daredevil in it.
And Sean Levy wants to direct it.
Yeah. Well, he also wants to direct a Spider-Man Deadpool one. So that's another thing.
And he's also up there for the next Avengers movie.
Yeah. So Sean might be busy for a bit. You know, that'd be very exciting if Sean did direct the Avengers 5. Wow.
Well, you even told me like before, you would even like him to direct Avengers. You want to see what he did with this Deadpool
Yeah.
Wolverine movie.
Yeah. Which
So
comes out in July, so we'll find out soon enough. But I also thought Sam Raimi would be a good choice to do Avengers as well.
he did a great job with Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Of course, you have the Spider-Man trilogy, so yeah.
That too. Yeah.
But we don't know what's happening with that. But yeah, we did bring back a couple episodes past that a Spider-Man and Daredevil team up movie is a great idea, and we did kind of pitch an idea where Kingpin is put a contract on Spider-Man.
Hmm.
This would join the two of them together, Spider-Man and Daredevil, to fight Kingpin. So
Hmm.
if Marvel's listening to what we've said, and you're still looking for writers, yeah, contact us, credit us in the comments.
I mean, nobody in particular, Kevin. Um,
Yeah, yeah, no in particular, Kevin. What's also interesting is there are also rumors that the directors of Bad Boys, the last two, obviously Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys Ride or Die, you know, might be in talks to direct Spider-Man. This is neither confirmed or denied. This is just a rumor for now, but
no, yeah.
I wouldn't say no to that because they're very inventive action directors, and also they're comic book fans themselves, which makes me want to still see the Batgirl movie. But unfortunately, Warner Brothers just won't pull the trigger on that one.
I mean, you work all this time to make a Batgirl movie, and you don't even get one clip and see. We don't even get a trailer. I mean,
No, no,
you'd want to see. Well, they did release. I think they released images of the Batgirl suit, right? I mean,
yeah, they did,
yeah,
and there was also some set footage where they were showing Michael back in the bat suit, where the Batmobile was there. I was like, oh man, this is just wasted potential here.
but that's all we got. I mean,
Yeah, that's all we got, folks. That's all we got.
personally, I would have loved to see a Batgirl movie.
Yeah,
You know, the last time we saw Batgirl in like the Batgirl in a movie, which a movie shall not be named. Um,
yeah, yeah, folks. Another thing, I actually had Michael Uslan, the Batman producer, on my other podcast, Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. He did. He spoke briefly about Batman and Robin. He didn't like it either.
I don't blame him, but
No, unfortunately, the studio at the time, as we figured, was more about the merchandise.
Hmm.
And yeah, so it was not a pleasant experience. And yeah, less about said about it, the better.
Well, let me just ask you this one question: Was like what did he think when they casted George Clooney as Batman? Did you ask him that question? Did he know?
I did not ask him that question because I was just more focused on his career and also how Batman '89 got made,
Okay,
because that was a 10-year odyssey. You
right.
know, he signed the deal with DC back in the late '70s, like '79, right?
Hmm.
He didn't, the project didn't get off properly because a lot of the studios turned him down
Yeah.
because they were because they felt that the project was so haunted by the '60s show.
Hmm.
And you'll hear him say this because he said, "I had to get rid of Pow, Zap, and Wham from the character."
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But yeah, we did not. I didn't want to talk about that part of this franchise because I didn't know, if how he felt about that personally. So I didn't want to upset him.
Okay, no, that yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
Um, but
but
yeah,
that, yeah,
uh, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but that just goes to show you studio interference.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, long story short, I mean, we just got robbed of a background movie. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, so we're gonna see, what's gonna happen with these rumors with the Batgirl. I'm sorry, the Spider-Man movie. I kept hoping there was gonna be a Batgirl film, folks. I am so sorry. Uh, it's just not gonna happen right now.
I mean, rumors are it's not confirmed or anything. We don't know, but rumors are Tom Holland will appear in Daredevil in the Daredevil series. We don't know, but
Yeah,
there are rumors that he will appear in that movie, in that show.
yeah, that remains to be seen. Obviously, we don't know this for sure, but we're gonna, wait and see. Obviously,
Yes,
we hope it happens. We hope it happens, but
we
we
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah. Oh, and
Um,
by the way, before we move on to the other topic, if anybody is interested about that interview with Michael Uslan, um, you could. The link is right here.
no, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this up for a while. Uh, but yeah, moving on. And speaking of Warner Brothers, I there's been actually some movement on Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be about the last one was in 1998, right?
Yeah,
So, so it's about 20 no, yeah, 21 to 25 years later.
yeah, 25 years later, can you
Or
believe that?
26, 27 years later, something like that.
Yeah, I thought four was a great, good ending. I thought it was a great ending. Especially the last shot. Of them, the whole family.
Hmm.
And I love all the Lethal Weapon films. They were very action packed. The fourth one, it was great, especially seeing that with a big audience back in
Hmm.
'98. And the film was obviously was had mixed reviews, but it's still beloved by the fans as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about a franchise that's you know one of the more popular franchises that you know went on for a while, then it just stopped, and then I think it was announced like 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
That they were coming back.
yeah. Richard Donner, the original director of the first four films, was originally set to direct, but unfortunately he passed away. But they were already working on the script at
Hmm.
that time. So, um, of course, many of you know Richard Donner not just from those films, but he also did the first two Superman movies
Hmm.
before he was actually released. Well, fired, I should say, from Superman 2 by the producers of the time and replaced by director Richard Lester. but yeah, he'd had a number of hits. Aside from that, he also directed The Omen. So yeah, but before he passed, Donner asked Mel Gibson, a director in his own right, to carry on the torch, carry on directing the movie. And recently, Gibson went in front of an audience and said that he was happy with the script that they were working on, and he's getting ready to set to direct for very soon. There's going to be a lot of humor in the movie, but there's also going to, talk about hard topics, which I think the franchise does very well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the only thing that I mean, I know it's been done in, you know, in other movies, but like you come back to a franchise and the big thing you consider is, the age. I mean, okay, I mean, you have Sylvester coming back and came back in Expendables, which we will not touch that right now.
No,
Um,
no, no.
but I mean, um, you have Mel Gibson, who's I'm sure he's like what late 70s, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you have Danny Glover, who's I think last time I looked it up, it was like 77, 78 years old.
yeah.
And,
So yeah, you got to be careful. You got to do it very quickly. Uh, because even though there were complaints about Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones being much older, there
mhm,
weren't any. There was still obviously that concern,
mhm,
seeing these old action heroes, do these roles one last time.
mhm,
But I'm pretty sure that it's trial and error if you think about it. But I'm pretty sure they've learned from previous, watching previous franchises. Say, okay, we can't make these mistakes. We have to be realistic here,
mhm.
especially about the ages of the characters, and also where would they be in this point in their lives. So the fact that Mel is directing it and we're getting to see this team one last time, you know, is exciting. But I hope there are elements of realism in there because the way the franchise worked best is if it was, you know, you know, very grounded, very based in reality in terms,
Mhm.
also in terms of action scenes. But again, you have to be very careful because they're much older now.
Yeah, I mean, with the and a lot has changed in the world since the last time they made this movie. So,
Yeah,
the last movie.
yeah.
Um, so like, I mean, like with the way the world is now, do you think like they could pull off this movie?
I think they could. You know, um, and that's also not something they should talk about in the film. How much the world has changed in
Hmm.
25 years. But yeah, I think it could be done.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Mel Gibson's a great director.
Yeah,
I like him a lot. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with this movie down the line.
yeah.
But
But he's got pretty big shoes to fill, especially replacing Richard Donner. So we'll
mhm,
see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah. Another sequel that was announced today. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, no. Go, go, go.
Another sequel was announced today, which is pretty surprising. MGM and Amazon have announced a sequel to Mel Brooks's sci-fi spoof comedy Spaceballs.
Hmm.
Spaceballs 2 in the search for more money.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think about that? I mean, for me, I mean, I didn't see the first one.
Oh, you
Um,
gotta watch it, dude.
I
You gotta
know I gotta
watch
watch
it.
it. I gotta
All right,
watch
all
it.
right. We're doing a marathon. We're gonna get all of our friends. Our other friends, and we're just gonna do a marathon of movies.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So, to all of you Spaceball fans out there, I apologize. I will definitely watch the movie. That is on my list to watch. But
Yeah.
what do you think of the sequel being announced?
Um, I was a bit shocked. First of all, because I didn't think it was gonna happen. But then again, I didn't think we were gonna get History of the World Part Two. You know,
Hmm.
but when that was announced, I was like, maybe they could do a Spaceballs too. maybe it could happen.
Okay, now here's the bigger question, and I'm sure you know what's coming if when I ask this question.
Go.
Um, will Rick Moranis come out of retirement to do this movie?
You know, I have no idea. Because the producer by this Josh was it Josh God?
Josh Gad, yeah.
Josh Gad. Yeah. He's also the executive producer of How to Shrunk the Kids sequel for Disney Plus, but that's been in development hell. And we haven't heard one peep out of that, so that might not happen. So I have no idea if Rick is going to even want to do this because, you know, I think he's just enjoying his retirement.
hmm
But I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping, maybe a cameo, but, we have to be realistic here. It may not happen. It could be like the son of Dark Helmet, you know,
Yeah,
but I have no idea.
I mean that's what we thought with Ghostbusters that he would actually make an appearance, but he never did. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe he would favor other movies over you know other movies, but I don't know. But
Uh, I don't know either. But if it does happen, I would be very interested.
okay, all right, that's fair. Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens with the development there. I mean, I was a little surprised that Josh Gad was producing it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think he needs more projects.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to um, Marvel for a second, they did release the trailer for the last Venom, the last Venom movie, for the third one. Um, what'd you think of that trailer?
I have questions.
hmm
First of all, you're establishing, that the symbiote that was left behind at the end of Spider-Man: No Way Home was captured in that universe.
hmm
So what's happening with that? Are we saying that the story's gonna continue in uh, the Marvel universe
hmm
in the MCU, or are we just sticking with what's the Venom verse? So what how did that happen?
I don't know because I mean, technically, right now, Venom is not in the MCU,
Yeah.
and the guy from the bar did appear in Spider-Man: No Way Home. So
Yes. So what's going on? I mean, are they going traveling through different universes like the TVA from Loki? Well, what?
I don't know. A lot of questions,
Yeah,
and I'm assuming uh, Chatel Ejiofor would be the bad guy.
yeah,
Um, I think they're teasing what was it? Toxin or something? Toxin?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. Do you
Neither do
guys
I.
know?
Do any of you guys know what's going on?
If you
Because
do,
we don't.
please tell us. Somebody
Yeah.
talk.
Somebody let us know your opinion, please. We have no idea what's going on.
It's driving me insane. Insane. No, but yeah, I thought the trailer overall was pretty good. I'm excited it's gonna be, the end of the trilogy because, how far do you think we could go with this without Venom being Spider-Man again?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Um, I don't really know how many movies you can actually make of this, but I mean, you have to wonder like if this is it for Venom, or will Venom ever show up in the actual MCU? I mean, I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. We also have news from Sony Pictures that they are officially working on Uncharted 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About damn time. I
You
mean, the
know,
first film just released during the pandemic, so yeah, no problem, no problem, no
no
big deal,
problem.
no big deal.
I mean, we can tell you what we want to see in this movie is obviously the first, the adaptation of the first game in
Yeah,
this
Drake's
movie.
fortune. Yeah, Drake's fortune.
Mhm. Yeah.
We want to see
So,
Elena.
yeah. Yeah. We want to see them cast Elena.
She better be good. She better be
Because
good
we
because
already know Chloe. We already know what she looks like.
yeah,
But
the voice actress for the Uncharted video games, she's a tough act to follow.
I know all these characters are tough
I
act to follow.
know, I know. I mean, oh god, yeah. So we just got to wait and see on that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but I still can't see Mark Wahlberg as Sully. I really can't.
No, no, I can't either. Even with the mustache, it's weird.
I mean, look, Tom Holland was fine. He was great. He
Yeah,
did great in that role. I mean, he's no Nolan North, but um, or Nathan Fillion for that matter. Um, but
that damn fam movie really did it.
I
Uh,
know, I know, but I mean, I guess we're all gotta take what we can get. I guess so. We'll see what they come up with the next movie. I guess.
well, he's hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, another news. If we're going back to Marvel for a second, the director for Blade is now left production. They now have to look for a new director as they're rewriting the script. This is a very troubled production just to get it off the ground.
Is this movie ever gonna get made? I mean,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
everybody's everybody was looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is the problem what's happening at Marvel because they haven't quite figured out the formula yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've had some hits,
Hmm.
but they don't quite know what to do because now created a multiverse which is way too big.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do. Hopefully they'll get it, under control sooner. Otherwise, the horse is just gonna lose more and more. You're gonna lose more of the audience. You're gonna
Yeah.
lose
Exactly.
interest
Hmm.
even more. Ugh. I mean, how hard is it to come up with a Blade story? And before you ask, I know it's very hard, but you have to go back to the heart of the comics, and you also have to say, okay, where is this in the relation of the rest of the MCU?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's like what is most of the problem because it's a lot of creative differences. I feel like.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody needs to be on the same page.
exactly. I mean, you want to get the movie right. You want to get it mostly from the comics. I mean, it's a bunch of different directions, and you need to find the right director to do that. But also, you know, some of these directors have their own way of doing things. So.
Yeah, but as much as we hate movies being made by committee, you have to have a room of the potential directors in there assigned to specific films, but also talk to each other with the writers of those films to see,
Yeah.
what they could, add in this film or in that film, just to make sure there is some consistency and also everyone's on the same page and they're not going off like, okay, we're just gonna rewrite the whole thing. We,
Exactly.
we want to add this, and I'm sorry, but we can't force the humor anymore. It has to come naturally.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully, get the situation under control, and we'll get to see Blade and some of these other, awesome projects because we're still invested in MCU. We still invested in it, but we have to see it's under control.
Yeah, as of right now, Blade is the only one suffering this right now, so hopefully not a lot more movies suffer the same fate as they are right now. So
Yeah, but only time will tell.
yes, time will tell, definitely. But we'll see what
Yeah,
happens down the line. I believe the next Marvel movie will be, well, obviously Deadpool in July, um, and then I believe the next one after that will be Captain America.
yeah.
I, or is it
Which is
Thunderbolt?
I think it's Thunderbolts, and then it was Captain America.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah,
think Captain America either is in reshoots right now. I forget now.
yeah. No, me too.
Yeah, I think Thunderbolts are. I think they're done shooting.
Okay.
I can't swear to that. I can't confirm that.
Yeah, I'll try and look it up. But yeah, yeah. Actually, I think it comes out in like November or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah,
yeah. I think we have time for one more topic, and it's a big one. We actually have some footage. Actually, not footage, but concept art from the Wonder Woman video game.
there you go.
In fact, let's just show the audience.
Let's do it.
One second, if I can find it. Here we go.
Aha! And
Wow.
look, that one's getting released on PS5 and Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Something they're not doing with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Why is that?
I
I have
have
to
no
say,
words.
this is stunning artwork. First of all,
I really like it. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, but that's not all. That is not all. We
Oh,
also have a little more.
we got more.
Boom.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, just seeing Themyscira, the different takes on it. Yeah, obviously, they were influenced by the movies a bit, but
Hmm.
still, they look pretty spectacular, and it's very exciting. And it gets you hyped up about a DC character, having their own video game franchise again.
Yeah, personally, I've always, wanted each, Justice League character to have a video game of their own. So I'm glad Wonder Woman is actually getting one because
Yeah,
you really have like Batman getting his own a lot of his own ones. Um, I think you had a couple Superman ones at one point. I don't remember,
yeah,
but
uh, yeah. Superman hasn't had a lot of big hits with his video games, but I think they should definitely do a Superman one
I agree.
and a Flash. I would love a Flash video game.
That would be killer.
Yeah,
But the art, the concept art that you just showed. Even Wonder Woman getting her own video game. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm
yeah,
looking forward to the trailer of that also.
yeah. And one last piece of news: we heard something from the Wolverine video game. It's going to be a M for mature. It's going to be like a hard rated R movie.
Hmm.
So that's something to look forward to that because we always love Wolverine when he's just violent. We always like that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that video game as well. I think that one is the one game I'm looking forward to right now.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's definitely hope it's a great game.
yeah, definitely. Um, one more piece of news before we close. Just want to give a shout out. The Tony Awards were last night. So this will be Sunday. So so the Tony Awards were Sunday. I just want to give a little shout out to Andrew's show, our friend Andrew Feller, who's been on here multiple times. His show, Merrily We Roll Along, got a couple Tony Awards. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
especially
cool.
especially one for best revival.
Yes. Daniel Radcliffe, who obviously all of you know, played Harry Potter. He won best it was like the best actor, right? Best actor in a musical. And then you said best revival for a play. And I think Jonathan Groff won too.
Yeah. So congratulations, guys.
Yeah. Congratulations to Daniel, Jonathan, and Merrily We Roll Along. So possibly we will get Andrew on here to talk about it because I know he'll want to.
Yeah. As well as some of the other Broadway shows that you've seen.
Yes. We'll probably get him on there because he'll probably want to talk about the Tony Awards with you guys. So
yeah,
we'll probably get him on here soon. So stay tuned for that whenever we can get him on.
Yeah. Next week we'll be back, obviously, to do more of our Disney sequels.
Mm-hmm.
They, do they add to the story? Do they continue the story, or are they just filler? We'll be back on that. And of course, as always, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want to check out my interview with Michael Uslan, the Batman producer, there is the link below. Or you can go to Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel on YouTube.
So, yeah, it's actually a pretty great interview. So I would actually check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, just hit the link at the bottom and just watch it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna be it for us tonight. I'm Ian Miller.
I'm Andrew Smith.
And this has been Media Talk with Miller and Smith. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, guys.
If you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.